Welcome to Oh Brother, a podcast where we try to figure it all out with your hosts, Brandon and Collin. On this week's show, these things can happen. Ahoy!
Ahoy!
How are you?
Fine, I guess. How are you?
I'm well. I watched your little icon pop up, really excited, and then your icon disappeared, and then it popped up again.
It crashed. I don't know what happened. It was like I was waiting in the lobby thing, right?
Uh-huh.
Like doo-doo. And then it like transitions windows. It goes to like the connecting loading window, right?
Sure.
And then everything disappeared. I was like, what? What's that's not what we agreed to. That's not the button that I clicked.
Right. I was moving forward. I don't know if you know this or not, but I was.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's been doing weird things. Because it updated. Right. It's like double windowed open something. And one of them says like sign in, but I am signed in. But then if I close the extra window, it's like leave meeting. I'm like, no. No.
Wait a minute. Whoa. Let's start back.
I don't know what it decided to do today, but it decided to just be confusing. So,
okay. Well,
yeah.
At least it decided something, right? It was decisive enough to be something.
Yeah, it was decisive enough to close. So that was So, we'll see how it goes. It's fine.
Yeah, no.
Everything is fine.
That's what they all say. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Well, nice. Welcome. So you are you on break now? When do you go? You
I
are?
am.
Okay.
Yes. Today was our last day, right? Some like horrible person decided that the day before Christmas break should no longer be a half day. And it should be a full day of school, right? So I just had
revolt. Just straight
revolt. Yeah, a full day of absolutely nothing.
No.
It was pretty miserable, right? And I was talking to my fellow 6th grade teachers at recess, and we were like, this is made even worse by the fact that in previous years I would have been home already, and so that is making.
Oh no, you can't do that. You can't do that to yourself.
Right? It's like
that's terrible.
Dang it! This is horrible. It was real bad. Like it was real distressing. So that's sort of how I felt all day. Like it was a long day of doing nothing. I'm just like being there.
Sure.
But with like really extra loud, extra obnoxious 6th graders, right? Just because of the day, like they know they're not doing anything, so they're taking full advantage of this. But like, also, I'm like, I'm gonna lose my mind right now. Like I can't.
It's a lot. It's a lot there. That's for sure.
Yeah. So, yes. So that's fun. That was my day today. That was what it was.
Okay. Well, I guess I would say it could have been worse, but I also don't know. I mean, I was comparing today to last year in the context of what a difference a year makes, because this time last year we were experiencing -30 wind chill factors.
Oh,
up here.
Well, that's El Nino for you, right? Like you just get
just kind of go with it. Yeah, this was the time where I had the client whose door lock was completely frozen, and when I called they called the tech company, and they were like, "Here, I'm patching you through to the tech company." And I was like, "Okay, cool. It's literally -30 right now," and they were like, "Oh no, it won't work." I was like, "Cool. So what do I do?"
Thanks
for that. That was yeah. So I mean, it's like rainy and 60. So for that context, I'll take it.
Yeah, that's a plan. Yes, that's what it didn't rain. I don't think it rained here, but it like thought real hard about it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It was like Every once in a while, I'd be like, sprinkle? No, just kidding. Okay, just no. Oh, look, no. Okay, no. So I was like, it was real weird. Like, is it gonna rain? Is it not? I don't know.
Yeah, it didn't really do a whole lot here either. It was just like, oh, it's definitely in the air. Like it's in the air. And then later this week, fully into the Christmas weekend, it will be raining. So we have our galoshes and stuff ready. Telling staff
Christmas galoshes.
Christmas galoshes. Yeah. Like Mr. Frog.
Susan is very mad that it's supposed to be cold the week after Christmas. She's very distressed by this.
Well, like, at least we're getting something, I guess.
True. Maybe question mark.
Maybe. I don't know. Did you see those memes going around? The National Weather Service was circulating them, which out of Kansas City. They have quite the sense of humor. They said snow chances in the link below, and it was a picture, and it had a picture of like Missouri, and it was like no in green, and then above it was like also no in red, and
it's there you go.
That's getting snow. I was like, oh, I get it. It's funny.
It's funny. Ha ha ha. Except for no,
not fun.
Dead.
Rats. So we have previously spoken on this podcast about this not this very podcast episode, but this show about those words that you say that you then have to say like the rest of the phrase or like it triggers something in your mind.
Yes.
I have been saying the word rats a lot more. And I'm going to ask you what comes to my mind when I say that?
What comes to your mind? Well, that's a little harder to answer. What comes to your mind? I don't know. This time when you say it, I don't know why, but my brain can only think about Ratigan from The Great Mouse Detective.
Okay. And so every time I say rats, I go, oh, Ratigan.
Yeah, you see?
Ratigan. It's the world's greatest. Yeah.
Criminal mind. Yes, not rat. She's not a rat. Everything's fine. Don't worry.
Totally a rat, but not a rat. Yes, this is why it's and it's just been this week, and I still am shocked that they got Vincent Price to do him. It's I don't even know.
You know, what else was he doing at that point, right? He wasn't doing a whole lot. That's like one of his last things, too. Yeah.
Yes. It was very towards the end.
It was like Thriller and that. Like it was
he was really, really taking them, right?
I mean, yeah, I feel like that was it. So I mean, like he probably wasn't doing anything else at the time, right? Like he's just hanging out.
Yep.
But yeah, it is always it's weird, right? Especially the older. Oh no, that was much later. He died. Okay, well, anyway. Like the people that are just like in like movies like that, like animated movies, like all of a sudden you're like, what? What?
Like, I'm sorry, you stopped what you were doing in your time to do. Really? Okay. Well, I mean, like we are richly blessed and thankful for it. But it's just a bit confusing, right? Don't mind me if I'm not sure why.
It's kind of like the Rescuers Down Under, right?
Right.
That's definitely McLeach is definitely George C. Scott. You're just like, wait a minute,
right?
You like don't even know when you're young. Then you watch old movies when you get older. And like, wait, hold on. Or actually, you watch A Christmas Carol, right? That's what you do. That's the only other George C. Scott movie I can think of off the top of my head. Oh, and you are like, hey, that voice sounds familiar. Right? I don't know. This is something I was talking about with somebody the other day. I don't remember who it was. But I don't know. I feel like I have a mixed reaction to celebrity voice acting. Right?
Okay.
And I feel like part of this is like the rose tinted glasses of nostalgia, right? Like
Mm.
creeping up on me here because like whenever you have like a I don't remember even who it was, but like like a lot of times now I've had Disney movies and it's like, oh, Chris Pratt is going to be the voice actor. Like, I don't care, right? Like,
Ah,
he's not a voice actor.
he's just a
He's like an
yeah,
actor. So
yeah.
like the fact that he is there, it's not really adding anything for me, right? It's not like it's there to have a name in the bill, right?
Yes,
But like, is it
that's
actually
fair.
good for the character, right? When you have a lot of professionals whose job it is to voice act, right? That's a very different skill set,
Mm.
right? You know what I mean? And so like
Yes,
some of these people don't have it. Now I'm not saying that Vincent Price didn't have it because it's Vincent Price, right? So like whatever.
of it.
But a lot of
What
other
are you gonna do?
people, you know, yeah, it always is lackluster, right? You're not getting like Jim Cummings, right? Like why Jim Cummings get Jim Cummings to do something, right? The
Right.
man is incredible. And secretly the voice of like every single character that you love, right?
Uh-huh.
But like it there's a lot of people like that where they're like really, really good and like really, really impressive. And then like I would much rather you just have them than like random actor, right? Like
Mm.
was Moana really better because The Rock was in it?
Right.
Probably not, right? Like
No.
other than I guess he's Polynesian and so it fits the character. But other than
Sure.
that, like he's not bringing a lot of voice
Right.
acting
No.
chops.
No, he's not.
He's not got mad skills like all these other people do, right? Like just like I don't know. When you have the range to be like, Winnie the Pooh and a Ninja Turtle, right? I feel like you really
Mm. Yeah. No.
right. You've got
Because and just a whole lot more comes from that because an excellent voice actor is going to be able must imbue so much in the tone of their voice that an actor can't because there doesn't isn't forced to. I'll say that. Like sure, like really good actors use tonality and voice and inflection and all sorts of stuff, but they're also using body posture, facial features, like setting, like all sorts of stuff. It's like this is a person in a booth completely separated from anything going on as far as where this voice will be applied to. And I know sometimes they watch scenes before and they kind of like see what's going on, but like still like it's I don't know how they do that. It boggles my mind.
yeah, and like just the range that you have, right? These people, like, I mean, The Rock has The Rock. That's kind of it, right? Like,
What? It's
there's not
crazy.
another character in there,
Yeah.
right? Like, I just pulled up uh Jim Cummings like little Wikipedia thing here, and
Mm.
it's kind of like the range here, right? Again, he is uh in lots of characters just like all over the place, right? We have again Winnie the Pooh, right? He
Hmm.
is in DuckTales, right? He is in The Real Ghostbusters. He is in Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, one of the greatest shows of all time.
All
He
time
is in Tailspin, another of the greatest shows of all
shows all
time. He
time.
is
Right.
in The Pirates of Darkwater, another of the greatest, right? Like these
Mhm.
are he was like random characters in Batman the animated series. Your boy was also one of the dudes in the Cowboys of Moon Mesa. Just so you know that he's Pete in Goof Troop, right? He is like
After that, it was all downhill. Sorry, bud, but yeah,
he
no.
is in the Animaniacs. He is in SWAT Cats. He is in Aladdin. He is like, and it's not the same person, right? He has the characters. He's developing the thing. So it's like got different inflections and different speech patterns and different like voice sounds and things like that. Like this is like it's a range that's like outstanding, right? It's like
Yes.
it's like if it's like the so like if you want to compare some of these people to like normal, like not normal, but like screen actors, where it's like the whole facial body thing, right? It's like Daniel Day-Lewis, right?
Oh, sure.
Like
Yeah.
if you watch Daniel Day-Lewis in a movie, it's not Daniel Day-Lewis you're watching, right?
Yes.
Whereas again, this is just a Brandon Rags on the Rock episode, I guess. But like this is like if you watch The Rock in a movie, it's just The Rock all the time.
Sure.
Right? It's just if you watch San Andreas and you watch one of the Fast and the Furious movies and you watch whatever other movie he's in, it's like the same person. Right? Sometimes he's like shoutier, right?
It's a little bit, yeah. Yeah.
It's unfortunate that he's decided he only wants to like he's not like the rock like big angry shouty rock. That'd be hilarious, right? But like he's still partially that character, even like the wrestling character. It's just like the wrestler kind of in movies, right? Whereas like Daniel Day-Lewis is never the same person, right? Like
Right.
I feel like if you watch a Daniel Day-Lewis, like you're watching him to be because like he's like an incredible actor, and there is a very big difference between like The Last of the Mohicans and Gangs of New York, right? Like that is not the same.
Oh, man, he really takes that movie, that Gangs of New York, and the movie, and like really changes it. Like he's quite a force to be reckoned with.
Absolutely, that movie's
like,
insane. Right?
Just
I really like that whole movie up until like the last 15 minutes, and then the end of that movie is just useless. It makes me grumpy. Like I don't like it. The end is horrible. Like it's the most like you made me sit through 3 hours for this like anticlimactic nonsense.
It's
what
it's
on earth, Martin Scorsese? What is wrong with you?
I don't understand.
That's just rude.
And it's one of those movies that like my goodness, it's just such a visually stunning film set, and everything is just like dripping with like you just want to pour over it in looking at it because everything's so pretty, and it makes like anyway. It's a visually stunning movie, and yeah, and then it's like it's this build, and then let down.
It's like there's like no resolution, and it's just like the end. Like what?
And anyway, back to what we were
distressed by this. Yeah. So that's that. Yes, that movie. It's rough, right? But like I don't. Yeah, I don't like it. But that's not.
Well, yeah, and I mean, and Jim Cummings, go back to him. Like he's still very active in doing voice acting. Like tons of credits still to this day. Like knocking him out in 2023. So still at his craft, doing what he does. So kind of it's cool to see that too, of the kind of characters he's taking on now as well.
Yeah. So like again, you have people like this, professional voice actors. Did you really need to cast Chris Pratt to be Mario, where he just plays Chris Pratt as Mario? Like it's not like different. It's not like even
it's
not even a different voice. It's like
so bad.
It's just like, hey, it's me, Chris Pratt. Let's go. Like it's not like
no, thank you.
You had the Mario guy, right? You have him here, right? Don't do that. Like,
yeah, he's right over there, right? What are we doing here? No.
Just as long as you don't get Captain Lou again. Okay, that would be good. Don't do that again. That's too much, right?
Yeah.
That fever dream of a show that exists, right? Like that's not
Unfortunate that it does.
Do you remember any of that? Or did you ever see that?
Unfortunately, I do. It's not a good one.
I can't. Like, for a long time, right before this is that weird part about being alive before the internet, right? that that show was on. The listeners, if you're unaware of what in the world I'm talking about here, I forget we have some younger listeners, right? And people from other countries here. So there was a a Super Mario Brothers TV show in like 1989 starring wrestling sensation Captain Lou Albano, right? That's a sentence for you. Anyway, it's like half like live action, right? And I think there was some anime stuff too, but it's like it's real weird, right? It doesn't make any sense. It's real weird. Okay. There's all this craziness going on here. And like you looked at some pictures, didn't you? Right? Is it?
Well. So I was as you were talking. Yes. No. I distinctly remember this. And then look. I just want to thank all the people out on the internet doing God's work. Because Jay Lowry, 1986, has compiled all 65 episodes.
My guy, there's 65 episodes. Jay, what on earth?
Of this on YouTube. Link,
my bro. All right. Yes. Link that. I'm gonna watch some of those. But like this is a show that I like. I don't even know where I like saw it at like friends' houses. Right. I don't
this
ever
is
remember
a saw at friends' house.
I don't even know like where this like what this played on. Right. Like I don't know. Right. I'm not sure exactly, but I didn't ever watch it at my house. Okay. That's the important part here.
Yes.
So it was on somewhere on some station that I can't find in here. Right. Also, how is Captain Lou in the Wrestling Hall of Fame? That's really interesting. Anyway, and friend of Cyndi Lauper, I believe. Is that true? Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
No, it's fine.
Like, this is a show that I didn't ever watch at my house. And so I just had these like vague recollections of like pieces of scenes, right? And I like there was no way in my younger life to like authenticate that this really happened. Right? Because a lot of people you talk to, like, yo, do you watch the Super Mario TV show? They'd be like, no, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, did I really? Was that real? Like, I remember there was like a basement, right? Or something. There were stairs going down to a basement at one point, and then like, I don't know. But like, there was a lot of years where it's like, I cannot confirm that this was real. I don't know. I don't know.
Man. It is something else.
It was such a wild, like, real, and I would have been young, and like, if I would have been watching it, it would have like only like half paying attention because I don't think we like sat down to watch it.
No.
I think it was like also on.
Yeah.
Right? Like
oh my gosh. Yeah. No, and the ending credits are the best because it's a straight minute of Lou dancing to the Mario theme song just on a loop.
That's not the best, probably. Right.
Oh, okay. Like, yeah. It's things like that. But yeah, it's like how much of my childhood was like how much more of it is yet to be unlocked by things going on in the world,
right? Like
it's terrifying to think about.
It's just even real. I don't know what's happening anymore. Like
oh my gosh.
Yeah. But that's one of those things like that, and like we talked before, like dinosaurs. I have that feeling about that show too. But like the Mario one was even worse because like I didn't remember like any plot points or catchphrases or it like nothing. I just remember that it was there and that for some reason there were live action plumbers in a basement. And I just didn't know what to do with this information.
How do I carry this information into my adult life?
Like
why is this happening?
I don't know. Oh man, it's just like I can't.
Oh,
Even this like title screen thumbnail is like horrible. I found your boy here, your J guy here. I found that by the way. That's a lot of episodes. Maybe I won't actually watch these, but I have to watch a couple of them just to see what in the world's going on. Because I just don't. I don't know. So yeah, as long as we don't have him back for more,
yeah. Fair. Okay. Well, I think that will probably be arranged by studios. Lesson learned, people. Lesson learned.
Oh, this fever dream. This show is so weird.
Oh, yeah. Well, this week, I'll tell you, this week has been very odd. Fever dreams, but like real world. Okay, so I got a very thick packet from the IRS yesterday. Yeah, yesterday.
Uh-oh.
Okay,
that sounds bad.
Nobody likes to have this.
No.
And I open it up. It's addressed to me. It has the name of my podcast in it and my address. And I go, that's weird. And it says, hey, we've been having trouble contacting you. But just go in and fill out these forms to get your address updated. That's all good, right? But I keep flipping through, and then I realize that it's saying like we've tried to contact you like all year, and I'm like, oh no, what has happened? And then 3-4 pages down, it's like something like, hey, we can't change your S corp because we don't have any record of you being an S corp. So go ahead and just make sure and file that, or don't file that if you don't want to be an S corp. And I go, well, I didn't try to dissolve an S corp. And then at the very back is a letter that's written to the IRS saying, hey, we all are members of an S corp and we don't want to be members of an S corp anymore. And attached to our signatures testifying thusly. So please remove that from our designation. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, why do I have this piece of mail in my hands? Because it's got like social security numbers, it's got all sorts of stuff on it. And then I realized that at the very top of their letter, in their letterhead, their business identification number, their EIN, is our business EIN.
What a minute.
And I go,
something fishy going on here.
So now I've got to call the IRS. And basically these people had said like, as of this date, we don't be an S corp anymore. So no worries. Just here's our pages. So I call the IRS hotline, and just so that everybody is aware, this is your public service announcement for this episode. At no point do they have a phrase that says, if you've accidentally received the mail of another business, press 4. They don't have that option.
I mean, surprise.
Anywhere. And so I had to basically just hit buttons until I could talk to somebody and explain what was going on. And let me tell you, it was a little weird to explain what was going on.
What an explanation that must have been.
Because they're like, oh, well, did you blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, this is not me. Like, I don't have this. I finally got to a person who was like, okay, give me your business information. And then he says the phrase that I absolutely hate of like, this happens from time to time. And I'm like,
what does that mean? How do you switch Rooney so much that like,
how really?
Because it shouldn't happen. That's what I said.
And I understand if there's 400 million or so, businesses in North America, in the United States. Okay, fine. Like, if 1% of those has an issue, right? Like, what are you gonna do? It's just, I don't like the IRS saying that this happens, this mix-up happens, because if this happens for this, like, and getting aside from politics, it's like, and you want to like have them scrutinize more things, like if we can't get our systems in place, like I'm hurting right now. So anyway, I give him my information and he's like, no, there's nothing here. And he starts going through some stuff. And then he goes, well, you know what I would do if those papers that you have there, I mean, just throw them away. We'll keep trying to get in touch with the other people. And I'm like, no. I'm not just doing that. He goes, well, if you really want to do something, just put it back in the envelope and say wrong address and send it back to us. And I was like, no, no, because
burn them, right? Like just put it in the fire. Yeah.
Here's the thing, like it's my EIN. You found me. For all you know, message delivered, right? That's all the IRS knows, right? Is it got, we're done. We're not gonna, and it's like, no, I literally can't do that because this is wrong. And so flash forward to where he also tells me, oh, well, we have been trying to get in contact with you about your business. And I was like, oh, he's like, so I guess it's kind of good that you got this letter. And here's the thing, when we registered this business, we had an option to do what's called a registered agent. This is very common in businesses. It's where basically you go, I don't want my personal information to be associated with my business as far as like my personal home address. I'd rather have it listed through a listing agency, and all of my mail and important stuff goes to them. And then their job is to then forward it on to me. Common business practice. Lots and lots of companies. If you've ever like looked up a business and like several of them have the same address, or like it's like, oh no, nobody actually lives at that address. It's a registered agent who's doing that for different businesses.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we did that. We're like, okay, we'll sign up for this. It's weird, it's supposed to be an international podcast. I don't want weird people, finding it and going to whatever. So we did this. Well, then we stopped doing it. And turns out when you stop paying for the registered agent, when they get your mail, they just throw it away.
I mean,
makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense, right? Like
makes sense. You're not paying them to forward it anymore, so why would they forward it to you?
Exactly, right? Like this.
Totally understand. Cyril, we had updated all of our business information except for our registered business with the IRS, and so they had this past year when we had filed all of our paperwork. So here's your business information as an LLC. We have to file lots of different forms. I printed them all out, sent them out to the IRS, and 2 of them disappeared.
Oh, fun.
And to which the guy said, don't worry, it happens all the time. I was like, of course.
Again, not just super helpful, right?
Not great. This is not. He was like, look, do you have any proof that you mailed these? And I'm like, how? How would I have proof that I mailed all 9 other pieces of paper, but not these last 2? Like, how? It's just, unless I physically take a video of me stuffing an envelope 1 page at a time, right? Holding while Megan holds up a newspaper behind my head. Like, there's just no way. So he was like, here, he's like, can you take some notes? So I wrote down this letter that he dictated to me and was like, go print them off. And sure enough, I mean, honestly, like every time I mail in our paperwork, I always print off 2 copies and I store a hard copy here at home. The hard copy that I have here at home has these 2 pieces of paper in it. That's all I can say. Look, that's all I can say, people. I did the right thing. And then he told me the fee that was associated with not filing these two pieces of information. And I hope they take my plea in my piece of paper. That's all I have to say. So
yeah,
now,
hit it back with the old. Well, do you have any proof that you didn't lose it?
See, this is the thing.
What's up now?
As the guy was like,
what's up?
Yeah, the guy was like, well, sometimes they get separated during processing. And I was like, so why am I getting fined? What? Fine, whatever. I'll send this. And so now I've got this huge stack of documents that don't belong to me. So what do? Got to try and find the owners of this piece of paper and let them know I have this.
Well, if the IRS can't find them, what are you going to do about it? Like,
their address is on the piece of paper, okay? And here's the problem: here's the problem. IRS will only send business information to a business address. They won't send it to an individual member's address at all. They have to send it to the registered business address. And that address apparently was put on wrong or something's wrong with it. So I have the list of everybody. I mean, I have all of their personal information and details. So I just start Googling these people.
Oh, Lord.
And calling phone numbers.
This is a real weird question, but are you so-and-so that works at blah, blah, blah? Like,
I mean,
because I got these IRS papers for you.
Exactly what I said. I mean, I said, hi, my name's Collin. This is going to be a really weird conversation right now. Were you in business with these three people or what I said? I said, I have some documents that were accidentally mailed to me by the IRS because they're trying to get in touch with you. And it has your business partners listed. And then I just kind of stopped talking and let their wheels turn because I didn't want to give away too much information. Because then I was like, oh, like I can't just be like, is your social security number 1, 2, 3,
right,
4, 5? Like I've got to have them prove to me that these people are who they say they are.
Yeah.
And so they confirm all of the information to me. And the guy was like, so I started with the bottom and I was working my way up and I called the first person. They didn't respond, but I left a message. I called the second guy. He responded. He answered his phone. I was like, that's weird. And there's some like investment, real estate agency out in California. Right. And I'm like, hi, did you and he's like, yeah, that's me. That's weird. I thought we sent that off a long time ago. And I was like, yeah, it says you sent it off in March. And he was like, yeah, I thought so. So I sent him digital copies of these just to get them off of my plate. I then the first lady I called, she called me back and was like, what agency are you with? And I was like, yeah, I'm not with an agency. And in my head now,
got the wrong mail.
Yes, I was like, I just have the wrong mail. Because then she was like, wait, where are you and why do you have my papers? And it was like,
I don't know.
I was like, so I didn't, what I said was, the
IRS guy said this happens sometimes.
Yeah, this happens all the time. Your document, the EIN that you used is actually my EIN for my business. And so they sent your papers to me. And the reason that it's just getting to me is because we actually changed our address, but didn't update the United States government. So I'm in a little bit of trouble here too. So you did this in March and I'm just getting it in December, just FYI. And she was like, oh, yeah, we set up that LLC 3 years ago, and we found out just this year that our CPA was not doing anything right.
Oh, what
it was
fun
not filing appropriately,
discovery,
not doing anything appropriately. And I was like, oh my God. Okay, I got it. And she's like, that's actually why we had to dissolve that LLC, because technically it doesn't exist.
That is quite a problem, right? Like, it's like, oh my gosh.
So they have this half legal
I was
entity.
bad at paperwork, man. What the
heck? Right. Oh my goodness. So I was just like, whoa. Well, and she was like, I actually would like those physical copies if you could get them to me. And I was like, sure. you know, sure, I'll get them back to you. Because if they don't dissolve this S corp, like it, like like they were supposed to be filing paperwork all this year, basically, and they did.
Yeah, it's a pretty not fun surprise. Holy cow!
Yeah, yep. So it was like this, just like this out of time, out of body experience of being like, you don't know me, but I know you, and here's this thing, and the IRS guy said it's okay. I just, why am I doing this? Why?
To bill the IRS for your time. I did your job for 2.5 hours today. So
yes, I know.
Here's my bill for
people. Look, I made a phone call. Didn't take me 7 months to figure this out. Okay, phone call. Yeah. Oh, so I got to play an IRS agent, basically.
What a fun day that must have been.
mm-hmm. Yep.
Ugh.
Oh, yeah.
That's real weird. That's real weird.
Right? Right. You know, and it was like all of a sudden, yeah, here goes literally 4 hours of my day trying to get this taken care of. But you know, I wouldn't have it any other way. I mean, I would, but
yeah, just like
didn't.
Like I think my least favorite part of the story is also the IRS guy who's like, yeah, whatever. Like, hold on. I was under the impression that these were not like whatever type of situations, right? When the IRS is involved, I didn't think was an option, right?
Yes,
I didn't think that was.
And the guy was like, yeah, when he was just like, yeah, just throw those away. And I'm like, no, these are like original documents. What are you talking about? Just throw these away. What are you doing? Oh, I was so, and yeah, he was just like, yeah, no, this is fine. Just, yeah, we'll, you know, it'll take some time, but we'll get it sorted out. And in my head, I was like, no, no, you won't. That's not.
This doesn't make any sense, right? Like, I feel like if we can just like rescind this weird antiquated rule of like we can't send business material to not a business address, that I feel like all of this would have been solved, right? They would have just gone to dude's house. Boop. All right, got it. Like, let's go. Like, that's real weird. I don't know why this.
I know.
Why not?
The whole thing it was just, is this really happening? And then when I sent the other business owner, my information, he responded with like, what did he say? So it's got, of course, all of the documents also have our names, our business information, our business name of the podcast. And so he responded with, he said the name of his podcast. He's like, what the bleep is that? That sounds a whole bleep and more fun than what we're doing out here.
Like, yeah, get on it, son. Let's go.
I just thought it was funny because here's this guy. He's in like, you know, real estate investing, and he's running this 3-4 other companies and stuff. And his immediate response is like, "What the bleep is that?"
To be fair, real estate investing does not sound fun at all.
No. No. So
I do appreciate his surprise though. Like, wait, what?
Yeah. Made me laugh. I was like, okay, well, fine. Well, at least he's getting a kick out of this.
There you go.
Like, that's mischief
Some
managed.
Joy was had today when. So see, somehow the IRS was involved and somebody ended up happy about something anyway. Look at that. Despite their best efforts.
In spite of their best efforts otherwise.
Or worst efforts, apparently. That's what it sounds like. Like, yes, they're these highly important sensitive documents, just put them in the trash can. It's fine. Don't worry about it. We'll get it
or
later. Because the best part about this whole thing is like based on their current track record, right? If they're like, oh yeah, well we'll just try again, right? They probably just would have sent them back to you.
Yes.
Anyway, because nothing would have been resolved. And they would have just like nothing would be changed, and so you would just get them back again. Like, wait a minute, I thought we fixed it.
Yeah. What do you mean? I'm just going to push these back into the stream. You're just going to send them back to me. Like you found the person. What are you talking about?
They'd be like, oh, we'll change that number, and then they wouldn't have changed the number, and then they would have just sent it to you again.
Oh, yes, I knew if I pushed the boat away, it would just come
4 more months. It would just come back,
lapping back up to the shore to find me sitting there like a schmuck. I'm like, oh, what's this massive? It's even thicker this time. Oh, okay, yeah, great.
Yeah, with angrier IRS letters. Oh, how fun!
Yes, yeah. Well, oh my gosh, that's kind of that kind of happened to me. Did I tell you the saga? Maybe I did. After I bought our car, I got a call from I got a letter from the Department of Revenue, Missouri Department of Revenue, saying like, hey, you didn't pay sales tax on this VIN number.
No, you didn't tell me that.
Okay, I didn't tell you this. Okay, so
no,
I did a big car search.
The Missouri Department of Revenue ruining things.
Okay, real quick on this. This is the IRS agent saying like, oh, this happens all the time. This also happened. Okay, it's the same car actually that we bought. I had to go renew the license plates, and I showed up, and I'm like, what do I need to erase it? I didn't get any card that tells me it's expired. And she goes, oh, did you move? And I went, no, I've moved. I've lived in the same place as long as I've been back to Missouri. And she goes, oh, okay, sometimes they don't go out. And in my head, I'm like, we have 3 cars. Like none of them come to me. I never get any notice that something's going to expire.
Yeah, one year we didn't get ours, right? And then we were like, we didn't get it at all. And it wasn't like the first year we got the car either, which is weird. Like we had gotten the thing, and then we didn't get the thing. And then the next time we got the thing again, I was like, what in the world?
This is what she said. What is this? She said, oh, sometimes they don't go out. And she just shrugs. And I'm like, okay, so the one reminder that you send to people to make sure that their tags don't expire so that they don't have to pay a fine, you're just like, yeah, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. What gives? Anyway. And okay. So then she's like, I need your information. I give her my license plate, give her my driver's license and everything. She looks at my license plate and she goes, are you sure this is the right one? And I said, well, I just took a picture of it before I went over here, and I show it to her. And she goes, huh, it's not registered to you. And I went, to whom is it registered? And her response, are you ready for this? No one.
No one. Then how did you get the license plate?
To which she responds, don't worry, this happens all the time.
Oh, no. No.
And I went, how? And she said, well, sometimes when we're making a new one, it just doesn't get put into the system. Like whoever did this when I was standing in front of them and they were frantically typing on a keyboard was apparently just playing Minesweeper. Like they were just doing nothing and then just passed the plates along to me and never entered them into the database.
Efficiency, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I've been driving around for the past year on plates.
Actually, it's a good thing you didn't get pulled over because
gosh,
holy cannoli, you would have been like face down in the ditch, right?
Yeah.
Like, get
out
of the car, son.
Like counterfeit plates or something. Yeah, like it would.
Dogs would have been all over sniffing, right? They'd been looking for
and she's just like
stuff in there.
And she's just like, that's all flashing through my head of like, what would have happened? And she's just like, or if I got like in a wreck and I gave license plate number to somebody and then the insurance.
Oh,
like,
God.
What are they going to do?
What are they going to do?
all of that's flashing through my head. And she's just like, it's fine. It happens. Well, she's like, well, I can't use those anymore. So just throw those old ones away. I'll give you some new ones. So,
what?
So I got some new ones.
Oh my God.
Just handed me some new ones.
What?
And about 6 months prior to this, I got a letter, probably 7 months. I got a letter from the Department of Revenue saying, you never paid sales tax on this vehicle that was sold. I looked at the card. It's got my name. It's got my address. And it's got a VIN number that I don't own. So I say, well, send it to the wrong person. I'm going to throw this away. So I did. A week later, my bank calls me and says, hey, Collin, can you look out? Do you have XYZ vehicle? And I said, yeah, it's in my garage right now. And they go, can you go check? And I went, yeah. And I go out, I'm looking at it. And they go, okay, well, we just got a notice for a hold on you because the Department of Revenue hasn't received payment on the vehicle that you bought. And I went, oh, yeah, I got that, but it's the wrong VIN. And there was a really long pause. And they went, for what? And I was like, the car. I said, I got that, but the VIN doesn't match the car that I'm driving.
You tell them, I hear these things happen sometimes.
At which point they go, well, like they start panicking. They're like, you need to contact who you bought it from. And we start trying to trace what happened. So I contacted the dealer and they sent me all of their documents. All their documents have the correct VIN number associated with this. So they didn't, because at first the bank was like, well, sometimes the dealer will put the wrong VIN on your sale receipts, blah, blah, blah.
Or just type it wrong, like key it wrong, maybe.
Yeah,
or like,
yeah, absolutely.
Or they're laundering money and they're just like putting, that's
putting fake VIN numbers right after they've been filed off for weight savings.
There's
right?
like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Exactly. So I'm like, oh my gosh, did I get this happen? And I call them and I tell them what happened. And they're like, yeah, did I have a stolen vehicle? Right. Where's the one that I thought I was getting? Anyway, so all their documents are fine. I go to my insurance agent and I look at the VIN number that's there. It's the right VIN number. I look at my original documents that I got from the license office. It's the VIN number that matches the car in my driveway. Everything matches. So then I swivel to the bank and I say, all of these match. Can you look at the loan document to see?
Mm-hmm.
And the bank put the wrong VIN on the loan document.
Did they say, don't worry, this happens from time to time?
In fact, she said, well, this can happen if you... They tried to throw it back on me. She said,
this can happen when you do. You typed it, sucker. I didn't type this into the computer myself at your bank. I was like, excuse me, lady, move out of the way. Type.
Yep. They said, well, this can happen when you are shopping for multiple vehicles. And then they said, because they were like, and it doesn't. And then she said, and it doesn't get updated on the document. And in my head, I was like, who didn't do right?
But that doesn't make any sense. What? Why?
I didn't. It wasn't me. I didn't put.
No, it wasn't you. Why
didn't do any of this? What are you talking about?
How would that possibly be your fault?
I called you on the phone and I said, "This is the car I'm giving this," and you didn't do the thing. And so they filed that car, whatever VIN that was sold to me. And the Department of Revenue was like waiting for their check. I didn't pay it.
Oh my gosh. What in the...
So we had to do...
What on earth?
And here's the way loans work. They're like a one thing. So here I was like paying on this loan to a car I didn't own.
That didn't exist.
It did
right?
not
It's like
exist.
not even a real car. Lord, what the heck,
So the
man?
bank had to do like all these hoops to do the transfer and like still
Oh
guarantee,
my
because technically it was a brand new
God.
loan, but it was like a year and a half later after rates had like skyrocketed, and they
Oh
like,
yeah, true.
so they still like held my rate to where it was at the beginning, which like they weren't supposed to do. All this stuff.
They better than losers. What
And
the
then
heck?
they had the gall to tell me, well, if you get a document like that in the mail next time, don't throw it away.
The IRS guy told me to
Yeah,
throw it away. He said it's fine.
he said. And because I was like, I looked at it, I said, that's not me. And I threw it away. And they were like, well, I guess you should have called and made some questions, blah, blah, blah. And genuinely, when I called the IRS this last time, I was like, I wanted to know, like, what do I do with these documents? Like, what am I supposed to do? That was my original question. And then like, have I been hacked? Like, like, let me
Yeah,
know.
that's true.
But then like, what do I do with these? And he was like, that's fine. Just he's like, that doesn't concern you. And I'm like, but it kind of does, because my business numbers. Oh my gosh. So what I've learned, right, is that the
things
bureaucratic
happen from time to time.
things happen from time to time, and the bureaucratic state just does not care. Like they're just like, yeah, whatever, whatever. So so the next time somebody comes to me and says these things are important, I am not going to believe them, because I've talked to the people who do those things and they don't care.
They don't. That's true. They don't care at all. They
don't.
Here I was worried about my tax forms being all correct all these years. No one cares. I don't.
No. And I'm sure if the IRS agent showed up in a black van in front of our house and came knocking, and I turned to them and I said, look, these things happen from time to time, I don't think they would take that very lightly. And I couldn't enter that. Like, I can't enter. Like, here's the thing. If you get taken in front of the court of law, you can't say, look, accident, it happens, no big deal. They're going to go,
That's true.
like, ignorance, they don't care if you were ignorant of the law. You still broke the law. They're going to prosecute you. And here they are being like, that's fine, happens from time to time. Don't worry about it. It was like, wait, so you get to plead ignorance and just like hand wave away. But if I did that with a lawyer, like, I'd be in jail.
It's a good point. You know,
Yeah.
like, it's a good point.
Oh. So.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. This is the most confusing, convoluted thing of all time.
Right. And I have 3 examples, right? 3 examples of contacting the bureaucratic state and them going, that happens. That is fine. Whatever. Don't. Gosh. So to make my life better, I found I found an article that made me very happy.
Did you?
I did.
Okay.
Now you may already know about this, and that's fine. I did not know about this, and I did a very deep dive. Not a very deep dive, but I did a dive into this.
A surface dive, a shallow dive.
Shallow dive. Do you know of Brazil's mysterious tunnels?
Brazil's mysterious tunnels. I'm going to go ahead and say no.
Okay. These are tunnels.
Nothing is just. Oh, wait. I might actually. Okay. Now that I think about this, I was thinking tunnels in like a different context, like urban stuff, but I think I might know what you're talking about. Please continue.
Okay. So, I knew nothing about these, and I genuinely don't know how I came across these, but I'm very glad I did. These 2 meter by 2 meter tunnels burrowed into like dense rock for like like and they're like, where did these come from? Who knows? And then it's like 100 meters long tunnel, and they're like, where did how was this erosion? Was this something? And it was like, and then some people walked around and went, "Oh, no, 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 no. That was totally dug out by a massive sloth or a giant armadillo."
Yes, those are.
I love these so much.
Yes, I was.
I mean, a 100-meter tunnel dug by a car-sized armadillo.
Yeah, or possibly giant ground sloth,
or
right? Unconfirmed as yet which one. Those things are massive. I saw the picture of the dude like in it.
Yes.
Like it's great.
Yes. And like
it's crazy.
Yeah, and he's there, and then they show the people like next to like where the claw marks are in the side.
Yeah, the claw marks are like horrifying.
It is terrifying. and then you come across the other word that just makes like it makes this whole thing worth it. They're called paleo burrows.
Yes.
And it's all from
yes.
a farmer that was plowing his field and his tractor sank down into the top of one.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's funny.
Yeah, it was too, some farmer was like,
what a horrifying surprise. Like all of a sudden you're in a hole and there's like giant claw marks on the wall. like it's like a 2-meter square tunnel. And there's just these like feet long claw marks on the wall there. It's like, what is your response to that when you fall in there? Like
yeah. How terrifying to just look down.
Terrifying.
Yes. and it's like, and now they're like, they found more of these. Obviously, they've looked for them, but they don't understand like why they're in certain areas, like why some giant ground sloths or giant armadillos burrowed in some regions versus other regions, and like why they're like, so it's like again, just kind of crazy to see this whole thing unfold. We're like, oh well, why don't we see them in this region versus this region, or like for some reason they're really concentrated here versus over there, and trying to unravel all that. But I just been like reading about these things, and seeing people stand in these things. It's like, that is like, it's terrifying to think these megafauna were around doing these kind of things. Like it just, I can't even fathom like that.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. Like it's those pictures are wild. I kind of want to see one. Right? I kind of want to go.
Yes.
I kind of want to go into a Brazilian megafauna tunnel. Right? I think it'd be cool. Right? I think not enough megafauna action in my life currently, so I think that would be good to do a little bit of that. Right?
Yes.
Oh, here it is. I was thinking, this reminded me of something that I read the other day when you're talking about they do it in some areas and not another, right? And so it was like a thing that I thought was like kind of, it's in a similar vein, right? So I was reading this thing about everyone's favorite great ape, the orangutan, right?
Okay.
Yes, we love the Sumatran orangutan, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like so we have them on like Sumatra and Borneo. Yes. Right. So these technically like they're, thinking maybe, okay, these are like, technically subspecies of orangutan. Right. But like orangutans in certain areas behave like very differently than other ones. Right. They do all kinds of like weird stuff. Like in Borneo, they do, so orangutans like do this tree crashing thing.
Yeah.
Right. Where they like knock the tree over. But in Borneo, they ride the tree down. Right. So like on the Sumatran ones, they'll like just kick the tree over and then like look at it. Right. But in Borneo, they will like jump on the tree and like ride it down and then like jump off at the last second.
Oh, cool. Like Captain America.
Right. Like, like jump into the thing. Right. Or like they make umbrellas out of leaves like differently, or they like drink water from the things differently. Right. Like from the, where water gets trapped in the trees. right? Like
Yeah.
some areas they like get some like leaves and like squeeze it out like a sponge, and other ones they like use sticks and like make straws and stuff out of it. Like it's very like it's this weird like orangutan like cultural elements, right?
Oh,
And it's weird
cool.
to think about. It's weird to think about these kind of things, right? Because as the other great ape, we're always like, oh no, we're the only ones that do this, right? But so here's a question I have for you: are there like armadillo megafauna cultural aspects, right? Like,
Well,
are they like, oh, these ones like burrow for denning, but other ones like den on the surface because of like whatever environmental pressures or whatever, they don't have to. But it's like technically cultural shifts in animals, right? So animals have like these like cultural things they do, right? Because in regions they just do things differently, right? It's like making grits. Ah, that's not for everyone, right? I don't want them, but
right.
apparently
You
in the
went with the
South, that's
grits
what you do.
example.
So
That's
like,
yeah. Right. Good
it's
on
like,
you. But you no, because you see that in like you see these have emerged in like laboratory settings of you teach like one ape learn something and it can teach the rest of the group to do something and then only that
yeah,
group will do it. Because I know in the tunnels, paleo burrows, they have ideas or concepts that maybe these were dug out over the course of like centuries. So this was actually like a communal thing. So that would fit right into this of no one individual was digging out all of these. It was a group effort. And if it was something of like of the that what's that example of have you heard that story of it's a joke where the mom is making a roast and she cuts off the ends and puts it in the pan and her daughter goes like why do you do that? She goes, oh, it's because it makes it taste better. It's something we've always done. And then she goes, go talk to my mom. And then so they go and they talk to that lady's mom, and she goes, why do you, she goes, I learned from my mom. And they go, why do you cut off the pans for the roast? And she goes, oh, it makes it taste better because juices can get in, and it's something my mom always did. So they go back to like the great great grandma, and they go, great great grandma, why'd you cut off the roasts? Why'd you cut off the ends of the roast? And she goes, oh, my pan was too short, and I just cut the ends off to fit it in. like, like they don't know why they started burrowing, but this is now what we do.
yeah.
We just burrow or whatever, for whatever reason. I don't know. But yes, I think I would be highly unsurprised to think of to learn that there wasn't a difference like that.
I mean, that's true. Yeah. And I was thinking like people are like, oh my gosh, why would, the thing to like speculate, like, oh, could one animal dig this big a burrow? Right. But then you think about like, okay, well, if like a meerkat can dig a burrow that big, what can a giant ground sloth accomplish all by itself? Right. I feel like it's
right.
It's kind of not out of the realm of possibility that it could have just done it. Right. The why is a different story, but like, oh, it could have just been one. I mean, giant ground sloth. Okay, these things.
Yes.
It's a small creature.
Yeah.
We know of small creatures that can dig enormous burrows. So I feel like a big creature.
Modern day armadillos dig pretty good ones.
Yeah, right.
Now imagine a giant one. Giant burrows. Not that hard.
Yeah, but it could have been something with like the different climate, right? Or like whatever reasons, because like
soil types.
Soil types, or the soil also could not have been like this hard when it was dug, right? Like
right, they weren't going through this hard rock. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, predation pressures or all sorts of stuff.
Yeah,
could have been driving them like this. So anyway, that was my little like happy way to round off the week of things. I was like
it.
I was like, oh, yay. Yep.
It's a good distraction, right? Like it. Yeah. I forgot about that. I read something about that, like I think last month, maybe. And then so you said Brazilian tunnel. I was like,
what is? Oh, some of these pictures inside are so creepy. Anyway.
It's so cool, though. I don't know. I like it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Other than that, we've been getting over sicknesses and watching lots of Christmas movies
yes.
to accomplish that. So we rounded off with the we mentioned Christmas Carol earlier, so we obviously rounded off with the only version that counts or that is real, Muppets Christmas Carol.
That's right. There we go.
And it's one of those things of like, I haven't actually watched that entire movie all the way through in a little while, maybe in 2 years or so. Boy howdy, all those songs just come right back.
You've been singing them all day, haven't you?
All day long.
On hold with the IRS.
That's pretty much all I have.
Here comes Mr.
Yeah, exactly. No, like it's real bad. So, but yeah, that's what we were just hanging out, talking to the IRS agents, learning about paleo bureaus in a week.
And what an exciting week, right? I think paleo bureaus make every week better, probably. I feel like that's probably true.
I think so. I think that's just in the rule.
Yeah, I think so. I feel like, how could it not? You know, definitely better than IRS agents and lost tax documents. So that's a and fraudulent license plates, apparently.
Oh my gosh. Just look, all I'm saying is that when I'm arrested, like there's so many reasons of why it could probably happen. Like just remember, just be like, oh, this happens all the time. Like that's my defense. Like that's how it.
Yes, anyway. It happens all the time. You know, I like it. It's a good. I'm sure the judge will be like, oh, you're right. Of course it does.
You're right.
It'll be good.
So yeah, and I did write a haiku this week.
Oh man, here we go.
Okay. So I was gonna say the haiku and have you guess why I wrote it, but I did not write it about paleo bureaus or about IRS agents because I just couldn't even. But I did write it about the Muppets Christmas Carol. So
oh man, Susan just got real excited. Right.
Okay.
She's over there.
So, but we'll see. I don't know how good it is. Okay. Muppets, lights, and cheer. Scrooge's tale with a fun twist. Joy in each puppet's heart.
Oh yeah. I like it. Very excellent.
There we go. So we'll put that one in the book. We'll put them all. Well, they're all going in the book. We got to figure out formatting on this, by the way.
That's true.
I don't like flip cards or something, or I think we need to make them perforated so people can tear them out and hand them to somebody.
Really cool. I was also thinking about different fonts for different ones, right? I feel like that would be important for this, right? Like different font styles for different haikus, right? I think that would be cool, right? A little more like whimsical, right? A little more like hard-edged and serious, right? Well, I think that'd be good for whatever the vibe striking. Like font could be a fun addition to this.
Yes. Okay. Figure out how do I publish a physical book?
Yeah, we'll get on that. So we're now accumulating some of these. So we got to,
actually, I think I actually know. I think one of our clients is actually an editor for this kind of thing.
Huh. Oh man, there we go.
Well, we'll just add that to our 2024 list.
I like it. All right. If I need to start writing some bonus poetry to fill out the rest of the book, let me know for volume 1. For volume 1, actually.
Right. That's what. Right. The history of the world, part 2 or whatever. Part 1.
I said, no. Yeah, when we publish it, it should just be like, "Oh, Brother Poetry, Part 1."
Part 1, yeah.
Boom. And then like
that way you think something is going to happen.
True. Or I have always wanted to do the thing where you release just like something called Part 2.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Right?
And like
just very confusing.
Oh, and then here's what we'll do. Here's what we'll do. Don't tell anyone. We'll just like we'll publish like 100 volume 1.
Oh,
right. Just like that's it. And then volume 2 will be like a mass production.
Right. Oh, so they're out there.
Like if you want volume 1 are out there. Right. But like, it's like real rare.
Mm-hmm.
It's collecty. Right. That would be hilarious.
Hey. Well,
may or may not be autographed. Who knows? Like, be out there.
Hey, autograph, not by us, but
somebody. Maybe it would be us.
Signing random names. Oh,
yeah.
Did you get the one signed by Stevens? Whatever.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, we will add that to our 2024 vision board.
We'll work on that.
Okay.
Yes.
And,
got it.
Okay. Well, hopefully you can relax and enjoy your Christmas winter break, and don't get too wet in the rain.
That's true. Stay hiding inside from that. So
side. Very good. Hey, lots to do.
Yes.
And I think we'll call that a wrap. And with that, we'll go tackle the next thing.
All right.
Okay. Enjoy watching Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
Oh, I'm definitely going to.
So, yeah.
Right. So. See if that makes it the haiku or not. Tune in next week to find out.
And on that bombshell, come on him. Okay. Love you.
Love you too.
Bye. Bye.